Today, guys, I want to talk about a subject that's near and dear to my heart. That's recovery and freedom from addiction. I do talk about this stuff a lot, and I'm oftentimes offering advice or different steps that you can take. And today, I kind of want to tell my story a little bit. First of all, to give some backstory on who I am, and also to give anybody that might be currently struggling with addiction or having addicts in their life, or the likelihood is that all of us are either struggling or have an addict in our life. And I tend to believe that, honestly, all of us struggle with negative, self-damaging habits. For example, you don't have to be using drugs to still have addict behaviors. If you watch TV every day for 4 hours and then you still can't pay your bills with just your one job that you have, or just with everything that you have going, but you're still watching TV and watching other people or other stuff or whatever, just wasting time, and you don't have your finances together or it's damaging your life, those are absolutely self-detrimental or self-damaging addict kind of behaviors. Here's the first thing is that, I underwent a lot of different kinds of abuse when I was a kid. Pretty much any time that you can think of had it happen to me. And that, as you can imagine, left me crippled emotionally for a long time. And as I went through my life, I had this big problem, which is what I'd say 90% of people's problems are nowadays. And that's that they blame the world. They blame exterior circumstances for how they feel, how they act, their results, and so on and so forth. And for me, it changed when I moved here to Kentucky from Salt Lake City, Utah, my hometown. And I moved here because my ex-wife, mother of my children, moved out here because she had family out here and she brought the kids with her. And I just couldn't stand the idea of living across the country from my kids. And I moved out here on a Greyhound. And if you've ever rode that, I don't recommend. But I moved out here on a Greyhound, and I started trying to put myself together here with nothing more than a backpack. I didn't even have any tattoo equipment. I had lost it all in the throes of my active addiction. And I started having similar problems out here. And, well, I hit a brick wall that I had to ask myself some really honest questions and give some really honest answers. And I think that those things will change your life if you really take the time to look at them. And the first issue that I had was that I blamed the world. It doesn't matter what happened to me when I was a child. It doesn't matter what happened to you when, as an adult or anything. None of the things that happened to you are reason enough for you to continue fucking your own life up, because that's what's happening at that point. Oh, well, my childhood was bad, so that's why I act that way. Well, no, your childhood was bad, and that's why you acted that way, but you can get out of it. You can change. And I want to give a message of hope. I'm not here necessarily to always talk to people who are already successful, who own businesses or anything like that. Legitimately, I was living in a trap house 4.5 years ago, and I was doing every drug you could imagine, just hoping that I wouldn't wake up and I wouldn't have to continue dealing with my life. And suicide is weird. It's a bizarre concept, but when you think about it, when people are doing that stuff in addiction, it's like a slow motion suicide that everybody has to watch happen. And it's so painful for your family. It's painful for your children. It's painful for your cousins, your mom, everybody that knows you and loves you, your friends. And I got to a point where I just couldn't blame anybody else anymore. And I had to look at myself in the mirror and say, dog, this is your fault at this point in time. It can't be the world's fault that your life still sucks, that the same things are happening. Mathematically, the evidence pointed to the fact that I was doing it. I was damaging my life consistently over and over again. And when that happened, I changed in a massive way. And my life started getting crazy better once I started taking responsibility for everything in my life. Yeah, sure, bad stuff happened to me when I was a kid, but if you're still lying on your back, looking at the sky saying that happened to me when you're 40 or 35, as I was, well, at that point in time, you're choosing to still be on your back. If life knocks you down and you're looking at the sky, then you can get back up. I'm telling you that 100%. And there's people out there way less fortunate. No matter how bad your story is, there's always somebody out there with the worst story. And so we should at least try to do something grateful for our life, which is a gift, and live it to the best of our abilities. And since then, I'm going to tell you, I've had a lot of ups and downs. And that's life, period. The idea as an addict was that I could constantly feel good, but that's not real. The difference is now is that I have perspective on it. I'm grateful for the ups and the downs. I'm grateful for everything that I'm capable of feeling, and I'm just so happy that I get to live my life. I get to be the type of father I am. I own this gigantic business here. I have a coaching business. I'm doing speaking engagements consistently and reaching out and helping people that have the same experience or similar experiences to what I did. I literally went and did a speaking engagement at a high school recently for some of the behaviorally challenged kids, which if you were like me, I mean, they called that the school that I went to, but really it just means that you won't sit down, shut up, and listen to nobody. It was crazy because I'm not even sure that those kids know that me talking to them had maybe a greater impact on me than it did for them. And the teachers have been messaging me, the principal has been messaging me for weeks afterwards saying, holy crap, like you don't understand the type of impact you had with these kids. They just looked at you differently. It's hard to see why. But really what it comes down to is that you have to take all the pain that you've experienced in your life and you have to turn it into a purpose. All that pain that you've experienced is the prerequisite for you helping somebody else with the same problems or similar problems. And as long as you're sitting there saying, poor me, the world needs to fix me, it's never gonna happen because the tools are inside you. Take a minute, write it down, pray a little bit, and take the real opportunity here to understand how powerful you are and how amazing you can become. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.